All right, now let's come back to the silent again, because that is where it all started. When you were still a little girl, you see the incident that happened to your mother. She was silent, and you were silent. The victims are silent. Those who are supposed to take action are silent. The question is, why are people really silent? Why do you think people are silent?
Yeah. Well, I think there's a number of things. When I take a look back and I analyze the situation that both my mom and I were in, my mom was silent because she feared if she took action. Let's say she even put that woman in her place by yelling at her or telling her to go do something with herself, right? Um, she could have acted as if she was the victim. And due to the inequities that exist within our country, within America, um, she would have been looked at as the victim. And now that could have put my mom in a very vulnerable, even life threatening situation, right? Because we see so many, especially Black people, being murdered, right? Off of even just running away out of fear, unarmed, right? And so, so there was a level of fear, I think, just from my mother thinking, oh my gosh, my life, and then I have my daughter next to me. How do I even react in this moment?
Do you know that telling a story is one of the most powerful ways to connect with your audience? Do you know that the human brain processes story much more easily and quickly than facts and figure? Stories are a great way to engage your audience, get them interested in your products and services, and inspire them to take action. A good story will help you create more compelling content that can be shared on social media or through other channels. And it's not just about telling a compelling story, it's also about knowing how to tell it effectively. Now, do you want to better connect with your audience? Then join us on our online training class, Storytelling for Content Creators and Digital Entrepreneurs. Come to obehiair14.com/storytelling and learn how to leverage your storytelling skill to earn more as a content creator and digital entrepreneur. Storytelling is a powerful way to connect with your audience, so let's explore it together. See you in the class.
And then I think the other layer is shock. The other layer is shock of I can't believe, or almost in denial. I can't believe that this is actually happening. Maybe this is just a one-time thing. I'm just going to let this go. This won't happen again until it does happen again, right? So I think there's a mix between fear and there's a mix between shock. There's also a mix between anger, right? When you're in an incident, and I'm taking the example of my mother being spit on by this white woman, the level of anger that and sorrow that comes up, all you can do in that moment as a human being is you almost close up, and that's a way of defending yourself. There's also the level of embarrassment, belittlement, um, and just being so overwhelmed with the type of treatment that one receives can then shut them down. And I think oftentimes when I'm looking at those from systemically overlooked populations, but specifically Black people, um, when we shut down, it's a compilation of those things. It's a compilation of fear. It's a compilation of shock. It's a compilation of anger. It's a compilation of exhaustion. I am tired, right? I'm not seeing this change shifting, so I'm tired, and that's how come there are, and I'm so happy that there are so many activists today that are fighting of all races and ethnicities that are fighting to see change, that will not be silent, because what they can do is speak up for those people that have been silenced for so long. And then I think then there's the other side, of course, right? And when we start looking at the dynamic of the majority group, right? And predominantly white people, I think that silence, again, like I was saying before, that silence comes from guilt. That silence comes from embarrassment. That silence sometimes comes out of, well, how do I do this? What do I do? I want to get it right. What I tell people is it's not about being perfect. Being anti-racist, fighting against racism and oppression, it's not about being perfect. It's not about getting it right. It's not about the accolades. It's about saying, I am going to take action at all costs, right? I'm going to take action within the workplace. I'm going to speak up. I'm going to talk about the policies, the inequities that exist. I'm going to advocate for those that need their careers propelled, that are held back. I'm going to advocate for inclusive succession planning, right? So these people are saying, no matter what, even if I were to lose my job, I am going to continue to uplift my voice and advocate and take action, because it is the right thing to do. Because these are human beings.
All right, the right thing to do. And I think that the right thing should always be right. And people should know what is right, no? When a policeman kneel on the neck of a human being who has no gun, and this policeman wait there on the neck of a human being until that human being dies, you don't want to tell me that that police officer do not know that what he is doing is wrong. He should have known, but why did he go ahead and do that all the same?
Yeah.
That is what is difficult to understand.
It's pure evil. It's pure evil. When we start to read back and look back at our history, Black people were counted as 3/5 of a person. So we weren't even seen as a full human being. And you can tell even through the way in which, when we date back to history, how Black people were treated. And even till this day, you would think something would have changed. But there's a level of power. So people are afraid to give up their power, right? And it's evil. It's pure evil. There's no other way to explain it. It's a deep level of hate that person holds even within themselves, to hate someone simply because of the color of their skin, and to then kneel on their neck until they die. And I go back to power, because he felt that because he held such a high level of power, because he's feeling like he's a superior race, and he has seen as a white man the inequities that exist and how Black people are treated, that he could actually kneel on a Black man and get away with it.
That is something also I found difficult to understand, no? In that you say you are superior. How do you demonstrate it? Is it by killing a weaker person? That doesn't really demonstrate that you are superior. Now, let's look at it this way. Do you think if two Black people get hold of a white person and they want to kill him, even with bare hands, that they cannot kill him?
Of course.
But does by killing him make the Black people superior? So I'm not able to understand how they can even justify that because I have a gun, I kill you, it means that I am superior to you. I don't even understand where that rationale is coming from. It doesn't really justify superiority.
Yeah. Well, I think where it comes from, it when we start to look back at the power structure, it's think about it. If you're driving on a road and there are cops on the road, you drive on that road every day to get to work. There's a cop, but you can speed past that cop and that cop never pulls you over. But they pull other people over and those people go to jail. But that cop never pulls you over. You're going to be prone to thinking, well, that's fine. I can always speed down this road and nothing will happen to me. That's what you call power. There's a level of power in knowing that you can do something and not see a consequence or even be impacted by it. So this evil human monster, I should say, evil monster knew that or felt compelled to think that because he held a level of position, because he held a level of power, and even it's a level of his whiteness playing into it as well, I can do what I want to do here, right? I can have a scene of people, Black people, or people of all races, because I know there were, people standing around watching, and I can kneel on this man's neck. I don't even care if he's crying for his mother, and I can kill him in front of everyone, and I will be okay. I will suffer no consequence.
But that is even what I see to be a little bit more dangerous there, that it doesn't speak of a superior human being. It speaks of a man who is too insecure, who is afraid, who is everything except superior. Because let's look at it. You see, human being, we are not the first to come out from the species of life, no? Look at every other species that we are cohabiting in this world. The bears, the lions, the elephants, the zebras, all of them eat. Even the lion have to feed on another life to exist. But the lion don't just say, because I am the lion, then I go there to just kill and litter them on the road. Even the lion too can understand this. Why come human being cannot understand this? That you only kill because you want. Okay, now, if I am a police officer, my job is not to bring a dead body to the court.
Right.
That is not the duty.
Right.
I'm not doing my duty by that. My duty is to bring somebody who I suspect to be a criminal. It is the court that decides whether this person is a criminal or not. If that is the case, I must do everything to make sure I bring this criminal to the law court. Because if I bring a dead body, there is no place for dead body in the law court. We watch Law and Order. We see this police officer that operate very dutifully, very educated, highly intelligent. But what we see on the streets of the United States is completely different.